Perfect. So here we are. How to be an excellent online instructor. Everyone, I want to thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Now, as you can see, everything is working perfectly. And I also hope that the audio is better. Yes? And I think it is, since I didn't hear anything from anyone. Okay, so I am Val Marguerite, and today I have created this presentation with you in mind. I was thinking about how can I design my webinar today that will create the transformation, right, or the results, the outcome that you are here for. And that's precisely what you are going to be doing when you are creating creative lessons for your own students. We are beginning with the end in mind. What do we want to accomplish? And then we walk forward from there. So, so this is me here, and I think you have heard all about me by now, right? Yes, I am an author and a speaker and consultant with Untitled, which I'm super excited. My 2 books are all about empowerment and students empowerment, faculty empowerment, and mindsets, which we are going to talk about today, and I'm so excited about that. I am also a practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, which, if you are not familiar with, we have an opportunity today to talk about that as well. I am also a mindfulness meditation teacher, and that's incredibly important to our peace of mind, right? We live in this stressful world. Anxiety is up the roof. The crisis is everywhere. And we have another crisis, which is to go online and teach students who are themselves anxious and stressed, right? Okay. And of course, I'm a marathon runner and I love health and fitness because, as you will find out, plays an important role to our success, whether it's in school, college, academic, personal, career, any kind of success. It's incredibly important that we have a good, solid system. Excellent. Today's agenda is made with love, as you can see. Yes, and you are going to do the same for your students. And let me tell you, right now, in a secret, they will love it. They will love it because that's what they want. And probably at this moment, the perception, right, how people perceive us, we only have about 6 seconds. Can you believe that? 6 seconds, and people made up their minds about us. So having that inside information is going to place you in a very powerful place. So today's agenda is this. We are going to talk about mindsets, beliefs, and skills for successful online teaching and learning. Second, we are going to talk about and address unique challenges and opportunities related to teaching and learning. We are going to also talk about strategies that you can implement today. Well, probably not today. If you are, depends where you are in the world. But probably where you are, it's already evening. You are having dinner. Here where I am in the United States, it's morning. So I just had breakfast. So strategies to improve online teaching and learning. And of course, we are going to talk about pedagogy, the way you teach, and technology, which one is more important, and how you can use the two to create powerful learning environments so that students will always remember you. And of course, we are going to finish up with developing a motivation strategy for you, and we'll have skills and behaviors that you might be interested in working on, and we will have questions. So let's begin. I'm super excited. Are you excited? I hope you are. Okay. Close to 80% of people are online today learning. And this is done by the Global Shaper Survey. Can you believe that? 80% from people. And we're talking about college students. And we are also talking about people looking for courses to upskill, right? To up-level their careers and their personal lives. We live in a world that requires of us to be adaptive to this environment and to also be ready to go, to be cognitively flexible when changes are around. So if we are not ready to change and go with the flow, as we say it here, and probably you have that expression, then what's going to happen to us? We will be left behind because other people will be ready to go. So we need to make sure we too are ready to go. So is the future of education online? Well, you would probably agree. We'll find out if it is or not. But based on this number and based on what we have experienced with the crisis at the moment, we know that you and I, all of us, are really powerful at the moment. Why? Because we have this opportunity. We can look at this crisis as an opportunity to make the change we need for our students and take them to the next level so we can prepare them for the real world. And in the process, we are going to change ourselves so we can enjoy our careers, our teaching, our time with our families, right? We look at it from a holistic perspective. Okay. So, of course, I did a little bit of research on India, for example. I think many people, if not most people here, are from India, and I'm so excited about that. I should tell you that I love India. I love Indian food. I have Indian friends, and I have traveled. I'm a global traveler. I've been to 50 countries so far. And I cook Indian and I eat Indian. Maybe it's not as good as yours, but I have a book, okay, and I can follow directions. So I'm really happy that you are here in my house. Thank you. So let's look at the challenge, and then we can find out the opportunity for us, yes, to make the change we want. So look at what is the number one challenge for you if you are in India. 79%, let's call it 80%, lack of quality faculty. I mean, please, I know you are the expert in your field, right? I know you have worked so hard. We have worked so hard to be where we are. And now it's time to use your expertise, right? And deliver phenomenal lessons. And that's why I'm here for, to help you do that. So that number there, 80% in India, lack of quality faculty, it's got to go down because students need you. Yes, in order for you to empower your students, especially in India, the human potential in India, it's incredible. So can you imagine when the students become empowered and inspired by you? What's going to happen with that? They're going to go in the world and in their country, right? For example, we'll use India as an example, to really make a difference, which you need. And we're talking about illiteracy, yeah? Poverty, income inequality, inequity. I mean, there are so many challenges waiting for the students to take on and solve. And I think you will do that, especially after this presentation. Now, when it comes to the United States, I have this here. That is also pretty much the same. We have finances. Our students here say that the school is too expensive, and as a result, they have to go to work, and as a result, they drop out. Faculty quality is also not as high. So as you can see, faculty quality, teaching is imperative. And think about it. It makes sense, of course, right? Because if we are not making the difference, if we are not making the change our students need in the classroom, then they can achieve success. And quite frankly, we are not successful either if our students are not successful. And that's going to change beginning today. That's my goal. Okay, so what is the opportunity? That is the challenge. What is the opportunity? So as I said from my research, 100 million people between the ages 18 to 23 years old. I mean, that's incredible. The opportunity is right there. Can you imagine what you can do? You can become the professor. Your students will never forget, yes, if you make the change they need so they can go out there and do some amazing things. And I mean, I was blown away when I learned that you have 33,659 universities. I mean, I want you to understand that this is a goldmine opportunity for us. Yes, to help the students of India and everywhere in the world, Bangladesh, the United States, it doesn't matter where you are. Because when our students do better, guess what? The world becomes a better place. When we educate our students in our own universities and countries, they will go in the world and they will solve these problems that we are having today. And as a result, we are all going to be better off. So the suggestions, of course, transformational approach to education. And this is what we're doing today. It's going to be transformational because, learning requires change. And to change, it means to transform. Improve quality of teaching and faculty. Absolutely. And that's what we're going to do here today. I'm going to help you understand, and it's not that difficult, let me tell you. I'll show you in a minute. Prepare students for the global market. Some of the problems, and I think we will see in the next slide, the students, especially in India and Bangladesh, and their main concern is that they are not ready for the real world. They don't have the skills for the real world. If they have the degree, they are not employable. Why? Because they don't have the human capital. They don't have the soft skills that are required today in the world. So, today, together, we are going to create your framework that will include all of these points so that when you teach, you are going to prepare your students for the world. So when they leave and graduate, they're ready. They are ready to be employed, they are committed, they are dedicated, and they are also inspired and ready to make a change. And use science-based learning and teaching. My colleagues, my friends, we have science and we should use it. Science is on our side. We know what works, and that's what I'm going to present today. Mindsets. Woo! What's mindsets? And how many are there? You probably have heard of the mindsets. As a teacher practitioner, have you been trained in how to teach, how people learn, and how to teach other people? I have to tell you that the first step is this. We have to understand the mindsets or the mindset. So let's find out. Okay, we begin here, and probably you are already familiar with the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. If you are not aware, this is fantastic. It's going to be exciting because the fixed mindset is what? The people that have this fixed mindset, they avoid failure, as you can see here on the slide, right? They want to look smart. They want to get that A. Have you had students coming to your door saying, oh, you gave me 94 and I want 98? Yes? Have you had students who are, fighting for like 3 percentage points? That's not going to happen again because you are going to help them go here to the growth mindset. So students or people with growth mindset, they look at challenges as opportunities to grow and to learn and to develop the skills they need to fulfill their potential. That is the growth, right? Growth, changing, right? Evolving. That's where we are today, and that's where we need to be. So if you know anybody with a fixed mindset, I want you to share our talk today and tell them what you learned and what, if they want to learn and grow and become successful, they can also cultivate a growth mindset. So again, with the fixed mindset, people are afraid of change, are afraid of failures. They don't want to take risks. They're not growing. And most importantly, they believe that intelligence is fixed, that they are born with it. No, we know that's not the case. That's not the case. So we need to change that mindset. We need to give students the hope. We need to give students the science to understand that no, intelligence is not fixed. You can grow your intelligence by going on the other side, the growth mindset. And you are going to develop your intelligence by, taking on assignments and challenges that are related to your interests so that you are committed to doing them and not give up. And that's where the learning and teaching comes in, right? When we get to the designing the curriculum and also your pedagogy, that's when this is going to really make a difference. So growth mindset, fixed mindset. Once we understand this, perhaps in our next webinar, we can talk about other mindsets. And the next one is the exponential mindset. I can just let you in a little secret. You know, the growth mindset? The growth mindset, for example, you can say 10%, right? So today I achieved 10% of my goal. Oh, great. And that's what you planned? Yes, excellent. So that's growth mindset. You feel good, you learn, but the exponential mindset, you want to do that 10%, now it's going to be 100% because you have the strategies and the perspective, right? The skills to speed up this and take even bigger challenges. But that will be our next webinar. Okay. I want you to be aware of this award-winning documentary done at Harvard a while ago, late 80s. And the reason I have it here is for you to really think about why is it so difficult for people to overcome their challenges and to go back to preconceived notions, even though they know it's not true. So in other words, if you tell a student that intelligence is not fixed and you show them how to grow their mind, their intelligence, right, with effort, hard work, they will tell you, oh, no, I don't believe you. And you say, what do you mean you don't believe me? I have the science. I have the video. I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you. Even then, some people don't want to believe. And that's precisely what happened with Harvard. Now, Harvard students, so you would think Harvard students didn't want to agree with the science, and they had all these answers. You can watch. I have it on my references at the end. I have the link if you are interested, and I hope you are. And you will see that the Harvard students didn't get the questions right to the questions asked. And when the interviewer told them that, well, these questions are wrong and here are the right answer, they said, oh, no, I don't believe you. Harvard students. So you see, it's very, very important that we show this to the students. Now, another important point here is that sometimes, and since I teach and train teachers and faculty, sometimes I meet teachers who themselves have a fixed mindset. Now, that's a problem. I am concerned because if teachers have a fixed mindset, there is no chance for the students to become and to thrive and to achieve their full potential if the faculty don't believe in the growth mindset. So imagine if the intelligence level is here, right? Let's say this is the level of intelligence of the faculty. The students can go here. They will be down here. So they will never be able to go in the world and do anything. They will never be able to really explore their abilities. So if you are a faculty and you need to do some work there, this is your opportunity. And what I have here as to why some people hold on to their beliefs and they have a difficult time changing them has to do with beliefs and values from family, right, and your environment. Has to do with socialization. How were you socialized? We have to look at our system, right? Like, for example, in Europe, we have a different system, different schools, different quality of education. In Asia, we have a different socialization, right? Cultural values are different. Family is different. Family raise children differently. They look at girls and boys, perhaps they raise them differently. And so they grow up with different values, different beliefs. Yes? And environments. Who are the people in your environment? And what are they talking about? Because if they have these beliefs, right, that are not true, then of course you are going to have a harder time overcoming them and say, you know what, it's time for me to change because what I am doing, my beliefs are no longer serving me. So this is an awesome, award-winning, by the way, and it's not too long. It's only about 20 minutes. Okay, what determines our intelligence? And here we have a short video. Let's see if we can get it to work here. If not, I'll have it in the let's see. Yeah, I'll have it in the either at the end or in the resources. This is an awesome video, and I'm going to send it to everybody, a bunch of resources if you are interested. So what determines our intelligence? It's really what we do with the abilities that we all have, right? The challenges we are having every day. If we are looking at each day as a new opportunity to learn and grow, that's how your intelligence grows, right? It's all about effort, determination, right? Hard work, and strategies that you are going to learn in a little bit that you have to apply. Because here's the secret. Many people work very hard, but they don't really make a lot of progress, right? Because they do everything the same way, the same thing every day. They are in their comfort zone. In order to grow our minds and our intelligence, we have to be out of the comfort zone. And you will have this opportunity in your classes with your students to create assignments that will take them safely out of their comfort zone so they can grow their intelligence. And once they understand that they can actually be in control of their intelligence, let me tell you right now, they are going to love you. Why? Because you have given them the power to work as hard as they want and become as intelligent and as sophisticated as they want. Because there is nothing, right? Nothing and no one stopping them now if you give them the secret, when you teach them how to do it. Neuroplasticity. The neuroplasticity, I have been fascinated by neuroplasticity. And you see, the way I organize my webinar is to look at the mindset, right? Because the mindset is the most important. I talk about it as a computer. The most powerful computer we have, all of us have, is where? The brain. Yes, the brain is the most powerful computer, and yet it's also the most underused. I mean, think about it. We have, I have a computer right here. Yes, I have my phone. They're all up to date. Yes, Apple and, these companies, they're coming up with new versions every day, not every day, but every year. And we run, yes, to get the latest version. Okay, great. But how about this brain? When was the last time we updated our brain? Yes, think about it. Just think about that analogy. Our computer is just like a computer you're working on, or your phone. When the computer is full of files you don't need, right? Perhaps some viruses, then guess what? The computer is slowing down. The computer is not functioning well. The same thing with our brain. If we let information in left and right, front and center, our brain becomes really overloaded with information we don't need. And when we need the information at a particular time, we don't have it readily available because our computer is not organized. Yes, the computer here is not organized by files, by folders, yes, to be able to function just like a good engine, like a good car engine. So the neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to change itself, to put it simply. That's all there is. And of course, you're going to look into it, and I have a resource for it that I'll send you, especially for those of you who are staying all the way to the end, of course. You are going to fall in love with neuroplasticity and neuroscience. You know why? Because it will make you powerful. It gives you the control. You are no longer waiting for other people to tell you that, yes, you are good enough. Yes, you are a good teacher or an okay teacher. Yes, you are a great citizen or not really. You are going to now learn how to take control over your life, your career, your personal life, your health, everything. If you are willing, right, to achieve your goals. Because let's face it, the thing that we all want and we agree on is what? We want to be happy. Yes, happy, healthy. What we do, right, the goal is what? To feel good, to be happy. So now I'm giving you the secret to really take control over your mind, your brain, and you have control and tell what to do. And here's the key, neuroplasticity. I've been studying neuroplasticity and neuroscience for the past 7 years. And here's why. I was miserable. I had all the degrees. You see them? Yes, I had all the degrees. I am an avid reader. I read a lot because when you read, you learn. And you also become a better speaker. Yes, that's another secret. I had a good job. I had a good car. You know, everything that they tell you, society tells you, this is what you need to have to be successful. I was successful, but I wasn't happy. I was stressed. I was anxious. Why? Because no one taught me how to do it, how to teach in a way that I can control the environment, how to teach myself and my brain to respond to my commands, not to the marketing and everything from the real world. And this is what I did. I went on a retreat, yes, and that changed my life. I began my meditation. I began studying neuroplasticity and neuroscience, and I've been using it ever since. And my life has changed in ways I never thought possible. If you were telling me 7 years ago that, oh, Val, let's go meditate, I was like, what? No, I don't have time for that. Well, you see, like Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. And so now, you know, what is the point to know better if not to share with all of you and to make the difference in the classroom? And that's the beauty of it for us educators. That's our job. You know, our career is the most important in the world because every other career depends on us. Yes? So let's build that reputation that teachers are the best. Yeah? Are you in agreement with me? I hope. All right. Excellent. So how people learn. This is incredibly important because if you don't know how people learn, you don't know how to help your students learn. If you are teaching, for example, you know, what we call hard sciences, yes? Chemistry, engineering. I was looking at the colleges, for example, in some of these, in your countries, and I couldn't believe, whoa, how many electrical engineers and chemical engineers, and not enough arts and sciences, which is really critical, yes, to developing the mind and understanding the brain. And so there's another opportunity for us, soft skills, and that's where I come in. And by soft skills, we mean what? Are the precisely skills that the employers want from your students. You know, to market their chemistry and engineering degree, they need to have the skills to communicate, the confidence, the self-belief, self-efficacy that they can do it, and they don't. And as a result, they get jobs that are overqualified. And as a result, they are not paid what they are worth and what they deserve. But that's going to change. Yes, that's going to change because we are learning how people learn. So the most powerful underused tool, as I said earlier, is this. It's the brain, the human brain, the human potential. It's unlimited. The human potential is unlimited. Let's be clear about that. I've studied it. I used it in my classes with thousands and thousands of students, imagine, in 7 years, and we have the results and we have the science. So understanding how people learn is going to be imperative to driving the results and the outcomes for your students and for you to improve your reputation. And of course, by that, I mean quality teaching. Yes, we want that 80%, for example, if you are in India, or if you are in the United States or Bangladesh or whatever you are. I think quality teaching is paramount. Without quality teaching, we can have quality students, successful students. So it's incredibly important. And so here, let's talk just a tiny bit about the brain so that you understand why, for example, this morning, I woke up at 5, I went for a run, I worked out with the weights, and I meditated. I had to prep myself, my brain for you. Now, what you don't know, you were with me running. You know how? I visualized all of you, about 500 people running with me. Yes, I was getting my body and my brain ready for our meeting today. because there are a lot of things going on, right? So we need to be in control of our emotions, because people will feel if we are not in control of our emotions, and if we are, afraid or anxious. And we don't want to do that, not only now here together, but you don't want to do that with your students, of course. So brain filter. When I teach the brain with my students, we have a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you, my students love it, because most of the time it's the first time they hear something about that. Then no one taught them. And it's really sad when you think about that you learn about the power of the brain and how to use it when you are already an adult. Imagine what would happen to generations of students if we begin earlier. But now it's your opportunity to make the change. Let's drive the change. So brain filter, I call it brain filter. Okay, so here's an analogy. I was thinking how to explain this to you, without going too much into it, because this is a webinar on its own. And of course, if you are interested, let us know in the feedback, and we'll have another webinar just for this. But brain filters, okay, you are familiar with filters, right? Yes, like phone filters, pictures, let's say Instagram. Yes, everywhere we go, what do we see? Everyone is filtered. And so we don't see reality. Yes, we see what that person wants us, what that person thinks we want to see. Now, so here with our brain, the same thing. How do we teach? How do we train the brain to filter out information that are not useful to us? Yes, and to let information in that helps us. Now, that's very difficult, yes, when you think about it. But you can do that with training. So the really three areas that I'm talking with my students about are this: the prefrontal cortex, yes? And I call it the thinking brain. And here you have the RAC, that's what we call it, the reticular activating system. It's incredibly powerful, and it has to do with physical health, physical activity, because it regulates so many functions. The next one is the limbic system, and here you have the hippocampus, the emotions. We are all emotional beings, right? Maya Angelou again said that, people will forgive you what you say, what you did, but will never forget how you make them feel. So here at this level, to have the learning take place, to have the memory available to us, to have emotions, right? Emotions in check, emotional intelligence, which is one of the most important skills today, emotional intelligence, social awareness, personal awareness. In order for that to be in a healthy state, we need to be in control of these functions. We need to place ourselves in environments where we can control this and not get angry when we have a situation. Instead, we adapt to it, right? Consciousness. When we work on our focus and awareness, and we see things coming from, all kinds of stimuli, right? Let's say marketing and sales and politics. Yes, people that want to sell us stuff. If we want to block that out, we can do that if we train the brain to be conscious and aware of what's going on around us. And this makes you powerful, because most people don't have these skills. But I have to tell you, it takes time, but it's all worth it, because you are doing it for you and your brain. And the last one is the dopamine. The feel good. The feeling, right? When you achieve something. When you achieve something, let's say your degree, or good evaluations on your classes, yes? Or you get a raise from your boss, or you get a certificate from your dean. As a faculty, right? Maybe we have some deans here and educational leader. Maybe you have an excellent educational leader, your dean of college or your department, your chair. Maybe they are amazing educational leaders, and they come to your class and they say, hey, Val, hey, John, hey, Ashok, hey, Stravi, hey, yes? They come to your class and say, I am so proud of you. You are doing a phenomenal job. And let me know, how can I help you? So can you imagine if you have that? That's a synergy, right? That's a culture. Like everyone lives and breathes success. So I hope if we have some educational leaders here, they take note and they will do that for their faculty. So that's the secret here to the brain, to work on these areas and look at the ultimate brain workout. And look what each workout does for a certain part of the brain. Like, for example, when we lift weights, like I did this morning, yes? Because educational leaders, faculty, they are healthy and strong and happy because we are in charge of educating generations. So we want our students to not only be successful in their careers, but we also want them to be healthy and happy and strong, because the energy and the enthusiasm, like, do you feel my energy? Guess where it's coming from? I'm generating it, right? It's coming from my brain. It's coming from my passion for what I am doing. It's coming from my commitment to student and faculty success. And that's what's going to happen to you when you implement your ultimate brain workout. Again, this is another workshop on its own. If you are interested, we can do that. Before I go forward, I want to stop for a second and check in with my colleague for any questions. Ashok, you hear me?
Yes, well, I'm here with you. So
we have a few minutes. We have a few minutes for a couple of questions if we have them.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of questions here, but I wanted to ask you: is the presentation slides, are they done, or do you have a few more to present? Because I think it is best for us to finish the presentation and give it for the Q&A.
Yes. I'm finishing the presentation in a moment. Thank you.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, because I could see the interactivity in the chatbot continuously flowing, and but the overall thoughts from what I see is like excellent feedbacks. But let's finish it and then we could go for the questions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So let's move on. So this is just the literature on neuroscience, and you can use it. I have it here just so you know that the literature in neuroscience and brain, it's everywhere. Now, of course, this is probably one of your role models too, yes? And this is what we are trying to do. We don't teach, we provide the conditions, the environment for our students to learn. What students want from you and me, from online instructors? What they want is value-oriented education. They want the skills to be successful in the real world. They want choices over their assignments and lessons. They want lifelong learning mindset. They want you to help them develop a brain, an unlimited brain power. And look what they want. That's what they want. And I think you can do it going forward. That's definitely. And they want, they want you to be enthusiastic and passionate about what you teach, because, enthusiasm is contagious. So if you are working on your, motivation for your courses, finding out why you teach in the first place, that's all you need to generate the energy. The life design for online teaching. When you design your classes, you have to look at these 4 areas: students, the content, the instructor, and the technology. It's always about the students, right? So you have to understand your students first. And by the way, I have a live demo at the end. I'm going to send that with our resources so you can see. So who are your students? That's the first step. Without understanding who are your students, you cannot have the powerful lessons that you want, and you are not going to make the impact you can make. So you need to know your students. Strategies for excellent online teaching. Let's do that. So these are the 4 critical points that I want you to understand and take note. And by the way, I have another webinar on this. We have webinars on each point that I'm making today, each learning goal. So let's very quickly go over this so you understand how powerful these motivational strategies for your students. And we use it in our institutes. Your persona. Who are you? Are you future ready? How do you show up in the world? How you show up in the class? How you show up in your online teaching? Do you just turn on the button and say, hey, students, how are you? If I were doing that today, what would you have done? Probably you have left me. Yes? But instead, you prep yourself. You come on, before you turn on the button, you are ready to go, you are excited, you are prepared. And that's what you need to work on beginning tomorrow, on your persona. And these are the points here, yes, that you can use to develop your personality teaching persona. The second one is your course. If your course is already designed, then you can still have a lot of power over your assignments, your lectures, and the way you interact with your students. So it depends on the situation. You have control over how to create your course with your students in mind, of course. Now, I will also share with you a little secret. If you have the opportunity to develop your own course, you can develop it with your own students together, live. Ask them what they want. Ask them to do the research and why. Tell them together, come up with the skills they need for the real world so they can become responsible and accountable for their learning, as opposed to you doing it for them. Without them getting involved, you are not going to be as powerful as you could be. So this is the universal design of learning. It's fascinating because it deals with the why, the what, and the how. And that's what we need for our students. Your teaching, what kind of teaching? What's your style? Is it student-centered, learner-centered, teacher-centered, world-centered, global-centered? What kind of teaching style you have? It's very important that you are aware that in the world that we live today, our teaching style is more of a coaching style. We facilitate education and we let the students drive learning and outcome based on their effort and determination. This is very powerful, okay? So be sure you go over this when we send you the webinar, and you can, of course, you can always ask me questions either at the end or via email. And the last one is your assignment. Believe that success is your only option. Yes? So when you create your assignment, after choices, set realistic performance goals, allow students to model excellence. You model excellence for your students. Show them how it's done. Students, I want you to do a work, and this is how you do it. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Invite in other people if you can. Online, you have access to the World Wide Web. It's powerful. So when you create your assignments, please keep in mind what your students need so they can develop the skills that the survey said that you don't have. Right, like for example here, have different assignments like A, B, C. If you have this grading system, show them this is what A looks like. This is what B looks like. And rubrics, always send the rubric. And also online, you send reminders every time and motivational emails and announcements. This is what I do. I have weekly motivations, Thursday motivations, Wednesday motivation, you know? So I'm thinking constantly about my students, how to help them stay on track. And we are getting to the end now. The science-based framework for you, the 6 core methods that you need to take you from where you are to excellence. Now, this is critical for your work and for your life. We live in a very unpredictable world, and the teachers, the faculty who are excellent and provide results are going to be the faculty who are going to stay employed. And your career longevity, your career success depends on the results you produce in the classroom, in your online classroom. So this is it's an incredible opportunity. So, excellent instructors call ordinary students to embrace their own excellence. Woo! Can you imagine? That's powerful. So let's go quickly over the 6 core methods, and then we open up to your questions. So the first one, by the way, this is just here to show you that these core methods are all based on science. And the science is right here, the theories are right here. And when you implement these core methods, this 1 through 8 are going to happen to your students. Oh, yes. And by the way, to yourself too, because you are going to be transformed. Okay, step 1, share the vision for the course. Talk to your students about your vision for the course. Identify the goals. What is it that you want to achieve with your students in your class? Clarify the goals. Tell students why these goals are important and what are the skills that they are going to learn from them. And then you apply the goals and you measure and achieve the goals. So the vision, if you create the vision with your students together, and then you communicate the vision clearly to your students, I can tell you right now, you are going to be a transformational educational leader that everyone will want to work with you, because you are making the change we need today, and that is to transform students to achieve greatness. So share the vision, step 1. 2, model excellence and mastery. What does it mean, excellence and mastery? Find out, bring role models. If you are working on excellence and mastery yourself, share with your students what you're doing and how hard you are working. That's what I do, because you know what? To be excellent at anything takes time, takes resources, and takes a lot of sacrifice. We should not tell students that, success happens overnight. No, it takes years. Overnight success takes years, and our students need us to show them how to do it. So walk the talk there. 3, intellectually challenging and encouraging students. For students to grow their intelligence and mindset, they need to be placed in environments where they can practice the skills they need, right, to achieve greatness. And that's where you come in. To empower your students and inspire your students, you have to create an online learning environment where students feel safe, feel empowered, and they know you have their back. You are challenging them, but you are there for them. When they fail, you remind them failure is part of success. Nobody fails in my class. That's what you say. In my class, every student is a winner because I know what that looks like. And I am going to teach you how to be a winner yourself. Right? 4, personalized attention and feedback. Look, Amazon follows us everywhere, right? Amazon, Facebook, and Google, they have personalized services. Yes? You go to Amazon and then they follow you everywhere you go. Hey, do you want this? Do you want that? And you never thought of it. And next thing you know, if you are in a different emotional state, you buy, 10 pairs of shoes. Yes? Yes, you tell me if that's the case. So why don't we do that for education? Because every student brings to the table a unique set of skills. The world needs diversity. The world needs your ideas. Our students are smart, are creative. You, the faculty, are creative and empowered. But we need to personalize attention and feedback. And that's why it's important to really understand your students and connect with them. Like we are connected here together. I feel I am connected with you. And you need to do that for your students. And when you connect and you create community, then that's it. They feel safe and empowered to make mistakes and learn every day. And 5, create experiential learning opportunity. What kind of learning opportunity are you creating? Think about the assignments or the projects students are going to be working on in the real world. Create experiments like that. So students can see, they can go out and they can really practice and perhaps shadow some people so they can be ready for the real world. Yes, real world experiences. That's what students want. And last, promote reflection and lifelong learning. My colleagues, my friends, we can only learn if we reflect on what we've done. So we can see what went wrong, what went well, so we can do even better tomorrow. And that comes from reflection. And that's why meditation is so powerful. Lifelong learning, we are lifelong learners. If we are not lifelong learners, we need to really rethink our career because we need to learn every day. The world is changing as we speak. Technology is ahead of us. We need to keep up. And with that, we need to have a solid plan in place for ourselves so we can be prepared for the unpredictable world. And that's the bonus, your future-proof success plan. These are the skills that you need to really, really embrace and cultivate to build yourself the most powerful brain and then most powerful, excellent online teacher that you could become. I know that. And that is the conclusion. So today we learned a few transformational things. I hope you enjoyed this. And some of the things we learned today, and this is what you do in your online class, or if you record your lessons for your students, right? At the end of your lesson, you have a recap. So students can see how you organize your classes and that you are prepared and organized and in control. So today we've learned about challenges and opportunities, mindsets, about the brain and the framework for transformational learning and future of online learning. You are in the best career field, and today it's our opportunity to make the change our students need. And this is it. So I want to thank you so much for your time today. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for you taking the time today to be here with me, learning about how to deliver transformational experiences to your students. And I am open to all of your questions now. So again, thank you so much.
Well, that was amazing. Thank you so much for all the energy, information, and we have to accept that the last minute we had to run through a bit fast, but that was in respect for the time. Now, to all the faculty members out there, I would like to take some questions from your end, but only with your permission because the session was supposed to be just for an hour. We understand we have stretched by 5 minutes, so we would keep it just for maybe 4 or 5 questions. So if you could please put them on your chat board, uh, whatever the question that comes on top,
Okay,
I
let's
will
go.
take it to Dr. Margaret. Hey, well,
Yes.
my people love you so much. It's just all appreciation and prices, no question yet. Okay, what is your opinion about flipped classroom model? This is Pierre Oli. So what is your opinion about flipped classroom model?
Time's up. Time's up. We need to use it as often as possible. That's precisely what our students need today.
Okay,
Definitely.
and for the benefit of others, could you give a quick brief about what is this flipped learning? How is it different from online learning or blended learning?
Oh,
Do you think that would be a solution for classrooms across culture? Because a classroom in US would be completely different with the kind of students and mentality that we have in India. But could you please make a general opinion
well,
about?
first we need to understand that Indian students are going to integrate in a global economy.
Okay.
Okay, so perspective is very important. So when we teach our students, we teach with a global mindset because today we are connected. I mean, look, I am here and you are there, and everybody's everywhere. So for me, just like the faculty here, to be successful, you need to understand perceptions and cultures so you can deliver with a global mindset. Because your students, the Indian students, are going to work with people from around the world. How are they going to be successful if they are going to hold to their own cultural beliefs or procedures? You see?
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why we need to invite our students to different, we need to teach in different ways, different models, right? From flipped classrooms to having students use different theories, like for example, self-determination or self-determining theory, where the students are in charge of their learning and the faculty are sort of like coaches, facilitators.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so the idea is to create a learning experience where the student is in charge and the faculty is like a coach, and you say, yes, you can do it, hey, push it, you can go harder, you can do even better. You
Yeah.
never say, oh, that's okay, hey professor, is this good enough? No, it's not good enough, you can do better. And they come back, and that's how you motivate them. So definitely flipped classrooms.
Okay.
Next
Okay.
question.
So I have another question. This is from Dr. S. Muralidharan. How to keep the students actively engaged in the absence of their physical presence in an online environment?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for that question, because I'm sure this question is in everybody's mind. Online, so it depends where you teach, depends what kind of structure you have. Obviously, it depends on technology, depends on how much control you have over your assignments. So if you teach synchronously or asynchronously, I don't know which type, but first you must understand your students, because if you understand your students, you also understand their goals, right? Their aspirations, their dreams. So when you create your assignments, to arouse their awareness to what they want to accomplish, and that keeps them involved. Number two, you create groups. Students today are going to join a world that is all about teamwork and collaboration. So we can, teach students to work on their own individually all the time. So you keep students engaged by creating group work. And you create roles for every student so that every student is accountable. You can also create different leadership roles, right? So you can develop leadership skills in your students. And you also show at the same time that being a follower, it's also a leadership skill, because we need to be both followers and leaders. So when you create these roles for your group work, you are teaching the students that roles are important, and being able to deliver results, it's incredibly critical for your team, for your project success. And then give students the opportunity to present their work. Communication skills is paramount. Communication skills is one of the fears many people have, and keeps them behind from excelling in their career and their work. Teach your students how to communicate well by giving an opportunity to present their work on YouTube, online, on different outlets. Give students the opportunity to develop these skills that they don't have.
All right. So very quickly, two more questions maybe.
Yes.
So this is Dr. Khalil Ahmed, and he is from Oman. His question, very shortly, is 100% online education possible?
Absolutely. Absolutely, but it depends on us, educational leaders, to create different environments where our students can go, right, and practice what we teach them online. It is also an opportunity to create different assignments where students can go in the real world and practice. It's also flexible, it's affordable, and if we make sure that students or people who take our online classes have access to the internet, right, or Wi-Fi, yes, then an amazing thing is going to happen in India, in Oman, in everywhere in the world, and that is this: we can close the gap on inequality and illiteracy, right? 900 million people in the world that are illiterate, and 500 of them are women and girls. Online teaching can actually solve that problem. So yes, it's possible, but make no mistake, what really drives success is the teacher, not technology.
All right. So followed by this, there's another question. In fact, this kind of captures many other comments and detailed questions that have been posted. So in short, Professor B. Bhuvana, she has asked how to assess the student's achievement through online. Or in other words, very similarly, other questions were how to gain the attention span of a student.
Excellent question. Where are these colleagues from?
Unfortunately, I don't know the location.
Okay.
Most
No, that's fine,
probably
that's fine.
from the South India.
No, that's fine. I just like to know, because maybe I'm going to travel to your country, so I want to meet you for coffee. Okay, so this is very important. Number one, we know from science that we have about 7 seconds to make that first impression. Yes? So if you don't make that first impression where students say, wow, I love this class, or they say, oh, this professor is awesome, I love her energy, then guess what? The students checks out. They may come to your class just because they have to take the class, right? But they don't want to be there. You want your students to look forward to coming to your classes. So how do you measure this? How do you capture their attention? Well, first, again, goes back to your four steps: your persona, understand your energy, understand your expertise, and understand yourself. So when you turn on the computer, right, you come on and you say, students, I'm so excited to be here with all of you. My class is going to prepare you for the future. And you are going to help me create the most powerful class ever. The students are going to be like, what? She or he's going to do what? She's going to actually think about me and what I want to achieve in the real world. So that right there, you capture their attention, and they are going to stay with you all the way to the end, because now they know you care about them, you think about them, and you want the best for them. And to deliver that, you have to get them involved. You have to create that vision that I talked about a little earlier, right? When you have the vision and the foundation, then you have everything you need to just like a flower, right? To water the flower every day, to give your students a little bit at the time so they can grow, so they can evolve in amazing leaders that we know they can be.
All right. Hey, well, I think we can just take this one last question and we could call this a day.
Excellent.
So, in fact, so there are many questions on this, surrounded on this. So, in short, to summarize it up, it says, what is neuroplasticity that you have mentioned, and what is its relationship with education or online education, or how does it give success, and how does it ensure success, and some of the resources? Are you going to take webinar on those topics as well? So if you could please give them a quick answer around that. I think I will let you go for free. I know you have taken a long time of we have taken a long time of yours. Yeah. So please go ahead.
That's fine. I love my teachers. I love my educators. I'm here for you. Neuroplasticity. I'm so happy you asked about this. And do keep in mind that I'm available. You can reach out if you have further questions. So neuroplasticity related to learning. Neuroplasticity is key to learning. Okay. And here how that happens. So the brain, the neurons, the connections, the synapses changes in the brain. Yes, through neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity, what this really means, it's about this, the brain is plastic and changes according to the environment in which we are placed. For example, in your classroom, you have your classroom, that's your environment. Yes? The students come in. You are going to use neuroplasticity, meaning that if you create an environment where students feel safe to raise their hand, when students feel safe to ask questions, when students know that nobody's going to ridicule them, right? Then that neuroplasticity at work, what that teaches the students is that, you know what, I am going to learn and become better with every question, with every failure. So the more students are doing that, the stronger the connection in the brain becomes, and then it will be like a second nature. They are not going to be afraid to ask questions or to take on a bigger challenge. Another example, communication with neuroplasticity. Yes, the top fear people have is what? The fear of speaking in public. Yes. Now think about it. Our students, and perhaps many of you, because that is one number one fear, even before death. Can you believe that? Now I want you to understand. If we master the communication skill, there is unlimited potential for us, because everything is communication, right? To be able to communicate with other people, to be able to really persuade other people why they should listen to our idea, we need to have excellent communication skills. So neuroplasticity live with your students. Yes? Give students a chance to present their projects or online, to record themselves. Tell students, hey, record yourself on your phone and then send it to me, perhaps unlisted video, right? And you look at it and you say, wow, this is amazing. And you say, okay, do it again. And this time, take a look at these people who are known to be excellent at public speaking. So they can look at that, they see what they've done, and they say, oh, okay, I need to do better, right? Because as I said earlier, successful people, successful and excellent teachers and communicators. They work at this every day for years. That's why this comes naturally to some people. I am still learning, right? Because we do it every day and we don't give up because we understand neuroplasticity will help us. Today, I do 10%. Tomorrow, 20. The day after that, I'm going to be even better. The day after that, guess what neuroplasticity is going to do? It's going to give us the self-confidence to put ourselves out there. So these are just a few examples, but I have a whole workshop on it. And I love to
I'm
have
sure,
you,
I'm sure, I'm sure
interested,
people
let me
here.
know.
Yeah, absolutely. We are very much looking forward to it. Well, with that, on behalf of all the faculties here, I thank you so much for your time, your energy, and sharing your passion for your passion at your field. And I personally thank you for joining on board with Unitaya.
My
So
pleasure.
this is a great opportunity to see your work for the first time in hand. Now, on that note, I would like to give you I would like to take up this time to finish your thank note, and then I have a message for the faculties. So you can finish your thank note.
Colleagues, yes, colleagues, I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I really hope that we get to work together. Please understand that if you have any questions at all about what I have presented today, you know where to find us. Also on LinkedIn, if you are not connected with me and us, the Unitaya, please, right now, go there and connect with us and give us feedback on this webinar because it's very important for other people to see what we're doing. So as I conclude, I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to your feedback because I want to get better. Yes? Just like you want your students to get better, me too. I need your help so I can get better, so I can deliver even more powerful webinars to you and to all the teachers in the world. I really believe that this is our opportunity to elevate generations in India, Bangladesh, Oman, the United States, the entire world. Elevate generations, their spirit and their human potential because they deserve an opportunity to a better future. And we can do that for them. So thank you so much.
Great, great. Hey, well, on that note, I would, with your permission, I would like to share that there are many such sessions of Dr. Margaret is going to be up for up with Unitaya. You may already have the link of Dr. Val Margaret in Unitaya. So you could follow the link, continue follow the link, and we will have all our Q&As, our latest videos, our blogs continuously posted out for you. And also shortly, we will announce the next upcoming webinar of Dr. Val Margaret, which is likely to happen in the next 2 weeks, but we will discuss it with the earliest convenient schedule and we will share the date with you. Now, on that note, see, after end of this session, before another couple of hours, we will send you a feedback form, which is personally designed by Dr. Val Margaret. There are just like 5-10 questions there.
Yes, it's very important.
Yes. So once you finish and submit the form, and also in the feedback form, there is going to be a provision to mention your name that you would like to have on your certificate, on your participation certificate. Please fill in the column with the name that you would like to appear on your certificate, and you submit the feedback form. And within next 24 hours, all your e-certificates will reach your email, right? So thank you once again, and I apologize for the time that we have taken, but I know in heart that it was worth it. I thank you, Val, one more time for your time and for your passion, energy, right? So it's going to be a great. We wish you a great
brain power, brain
brain
power,
power,
brain
brain
power.
power. Yes.
Hey
Hey,
everyone,
so
you know you are in my house. You know I feel like you are right here with me. Maybe next time we'll have dinner together.
of course, all of us, all 500 of us. Yeah. So great.
Thank
So
you.
until cheers, and until we see you next time with another exciting webinars of your cheers. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
And be
Thank you. Bye
safe and
bye.
healthy. Thank you.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you.
You
Thank
want
you.
to
Be
say
safe
something?
and healthy. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, Val. Thank you all. See you. Bye bye.